Glad to have you back. Now on to the next story. A report compiled by SBM Intelligence says herdsmen crisis accounted for more deaths than Boko Haram last year. And going by the number of attacks and casualty figures from the crisis, that data might just be true.
Yes, Adamawa State, known for its large farming practice, has in recent times been the center of many horrifying clashes between herdsmen and farming communities. Now, from attacks to reprisals, both on the side of herdsmen and farmers, many towns have become desolate.
Indeed. Well, human lives, livestock and property worth millions of naira have all been destroyed in the raging battle for survival in the state. Even in the Vice President's recent visit and calls for peace from traditional rulers have failed to quell the ongoing supremacy struggle.
Now, what more should be done to douse the ever-rising tension in the state and stop fresh herdsmen attacks on farming communities or otherwise? Now, these are some of the stories. This is part of what we'll be talking about in this segment. Now, we have joining us a security consultant and analyst, Sheyi Adetayo, joining us right now. Sheyi, good morning.
Good morning.
And compliments of the season.
How we should have said.
Right.
Thank you.
Now, Adamawa State seemed to be on the news recently with the issues of herdsmen attack on communities and communities attack farmers attacking herdsmen and all of that. We have not forgotten the visit of the Inspector General of Police and then the Vice President and so on. One would ask, why do we have this situation now? There was calm in Adamawa State, you know, not even Boko Haram again, it's now herdsmen.
Well, they have always been in the news. I don't think there has been any time that, you know, those communities, or let me say states, that have been bedeviled with this situation, that have ever had respite, because they have always been living in fear, both the farmers and also the herdsmen. So it's largely based on lack of trust. They can't even trust the community leadership, even the state leadership and leadership at the national level to guarantee peace or safety of lives. So you see the farmers going to farms, you know, with strong fear of being attacked, and you also see the herdsmen as well, while moving around, try to harm themselves because they believe somebody is going to attack them. Why? You know, there have been attacks in the past. And somebody, you know, had gone to revenge, another person is coming back to avenge, you know, and you just say this is an unending circle of killings, yes. So you don't know if somebody is going to, you know, avenge the death of his brother on you, that you don't even, you've just moved into that community. You don't really know what has actually happened in that community. So this is, you know, a major issue, you know, especially in the Middle Belt, as we speak right now. And beyond all this cosmetic approach to this, we need to have a national, you know, security framework to resolve this. Until we pay the same attention or better attention than we pay to Boko Haram, we will not be able to. And
that is where I'm going, really, from what we just read, of course, which you heard, that herdsmen killings accounted for more deaths in the country than even Boko Haram attacks last year. Even
this is it TGI index? I mean, index also, you know, gave the same statistics. And I've always been saying it even before all these statistics came, because from my own analysis and from the statistics that I have, that the issue of farmers' expense clash is actually much more than, you know, the issue of Boko Haram.
And then you wonder why the government is treating this problem with kid gloves, really.
Yeah, because this particular issue is not actually threatening government's territorial integrity. It's not threatening the ability to administer, you know, governance across the whole country, like Boko Haram try to sever some part of the country. So the people at the helms of affair will not be comfortable if 6 states or 10 states is not within their control. While we're having a bigger issue within the states where people are being killed, even though there is no issue of territorial, you know, secessioning happening, but people's livelihood are being threatened every day, and lives are being threatened. And then if care is not taken, the way we're looking at things, I pray we don't go the Yugoslavia way.
Oh.
Why? But okay, let's get into this issue proper. Adamawa State's government is there that is closer to the people than even the federal government. The local governments are there. Now, when it comes to these people, when it comes to herdsmen and farmers, they have all been there over the years, over the centuries, in fact, since the beginning of time. How difficult or challenging would it be to bring these people together to find lasting peace? You talked about trust earlier on. How can that trust be returned to these people who know each other right from the beginning?
Let me start by bringing light so why we've not been having clashes in the past. We fail to understand the fact that, that we're growing, you know, geometrically in terms of population. So our need for consumption of meat and food is also increasing. So the number of people in pastoral farming are increasing because they too are also, you know, producing more children, and this is the only business they know. So if 1,000 people have been, you know, involved in this business in the past, we're having about 10 million now involved in pastoral farming now, and they need to move all these things out. Now, if the demand before had been like 2,000, now the demand now is about let's say about 50 or 150, you know, thousand, you know, heads of cattle, maybe in a month or in 2 months. So the movement, you know, there is marked increase in terms of.
So there's pressure.
Yes, so there's pressure on the land, both by the farming communities and also by the pastoral.
And then, so the question now is rather, how did they start wielding guns, sophisticated weapons? If all you want to do, like you just analyzed, is to rear your cows and provide meat for the people. Two
reasons now. The one, they say the traditional reason why they used to carry harm in the past because of these cattle rustlers. In the past, their challenge had been cattle rustlers. They come, kill them, and take away their cattle. So they need to harm themselves. And usually these rustlers are also Fulanese. But you know, what we have is that they are largely from outside Nigeria. So they come and steal their cattle and move them around, you know, their Adamawa and move them into Cameroon to stay. So they need, but over time, other rounds of challenges started appearing, like, you know, armed robbery, farmers clash with them. They will graze on their farm, and these people will now, you know, want to attack them for destroying their own livelihood. So they are now fighting two direction, right? That's the rustlers and then the farming community. But beyond all this, I have said it in the past, and I think I've also I said it here, that it is important for government to do something at the national level to bring about peace. And I will tell you how this can be achieved. You know, of recent, the Vice President moved around to try to, you know, talk to all these stakeholders. I think beyond that, what he did was not, you know, consolidated. It should have been consolidated with a commission more like a truth commission now, to resolve the grievances
Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
Yes.
Reconciliation has to be part of it.
Reconciliation Commission now. To resolve the grievances of the past. If you don't solve the problem of the past, you cannot just want to say, okay, there's like in Newman now, we had an institution in Newman. I think that when you resolve the matter in Newman, it has ended. No. The conflict in Newman can move into another community based on what some people did in Newman. You understand this now? So we need to resolve the issue of the past. Now, I also made mention of, you know, the tradition of the people. You see, no tradition, no culture is barbaric, because everybody believes in their own identity, and that is who they are. So if people, and most of all these people have a tradition of you avenging ills of the past, and if you don't avenge it, you will not be able to attain a level of manhood where you will be respected in that community. So you see,
that's a belief.
Yes. So many of them will have to go a long way to go and work to gain, have enough money to get people that will avenge the ills that have been done to their family, for them to be able to be initiated into adulthood.
In fact, Kaduna State Governor said something like that.
Yes, in the past. I actually didn't want to mention his name.
He did.
So this is very critical. But I believe that now that we have, now is the best time to do this. If the current president leaves power and we don't resolve this, we may never be able to resolve it.
Why is
One,
that?
he's a Fulani person, and he commands high respect. In fact, I don't think there's any Fulani person living on earth has as much influence as the president has now. And he's in a position to call all Emir of Katsina, Sultan of Sokoto, you know, the Adubai, I'm sorry, the Emir of Kwara, Ilorin, you know, and the rest, and say, you know what, this is the time for us to resolve this.
But sadly, if we agree, silent on this.
If we agree among ourselves to say, when we sit down and say, these people are saying sorry for what has happened, we tell our people that their sorry is enough to cancel whatever debt,
whatever bitterness, grudge,
carrying or grudge, and then we move on to a new chapter where we have the commission now that will address new issues that are coming up, because most of this problem has to do with inability of all the people in authority to address issues. Now, someone kills somebody, and because the person is from your own stock, then you just decide to, you know, handle these things with kid's glove, and then the people are not, you know, they are not satisfied with the way it is. So they want to go. I'll give you an example. You see, it's from both ends. For example, a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, made mention in Waterside that his sister was raped by Fulani herdsmen, and this matter was not actually, you know, addressed. Why? Because now, you see, likely headsmen are Muslims, and then when you look at some Islamic jurisprudence law that has to do with you know, rape, the law, I think it's Zani or so that it's called, that it requires 4 people, religiously pious people, to testify, you know, that they saw the act being perpetrated for the accused to actually be guilty of that crime. Now, this is a belief. It's not because they are, but that is what the law says. So from the way they look at rape is different from the way the people that are, the victim will see. So you see, likely it is the woman that actually bear the brunt of it, not even the person. So all these things are issues that has to be addressed by, to say, you know what, there's going to be equal law that will treat both the aggressor and the victim, and then everybody.
All right, well, Nigerians really want this issue to be nipped in the bud because it's spreading gradually, and like you just said, that for it not to degenerate, it has to be addressed pretty soon. Thank you very much for your analysis at this time. Sheyi Adetayo, security consultant. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Right. When we come back now, Liberia has a new president-elect, but we're still waiting. We're waiting for official announcement. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast.